All right. Welcome to Red River. We're just going to wait for Vern real quick and then we'll get started. I hope everybody's having a good night. Once Vern gets on, we'll get started with the Red River Football Show, Episode 2. I hope everybody tuned in last week. It was a great show. It's a lot of good football. A lot of good football. I got a Texas fan getting ready to come on, my co-host, Vern, the Texas fan, and we'll get some words from him on what happened in Arkansas. So lots of good stuff tonight. Lots of good picks. We're going to see where he goes this week. So just waiting on him. Some friendly reminders. We do have the Nebraska OU Big Red Rivalry show coming up on Saturday, so make sure you tune into that. I'll give you more here in a little bit. But first, we're going to bring Vern on, and we'll get started. Let's try it again. We're having some issues. Hold on, it's saying I can't bring you on to the camera. We'll try it again. Not working. I don't know what you're on, buddy, but try it again, or send me an invite, and we'll get started. Like I said, Saturday, 10 o'clock, we will have the OU Nebraska Big Red Rivalry show. So make sure you come out for that. And here we go. Get this thing to work. I dislike technology, people. I'm going to figure this out one day.
Technology, brother, what's going on?
I hate technology. Oh, woo! What a week of football, my friend.
Oh man, my Longhorns, boy.
Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about this?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, let's get your opening thoughts about the week.
I mean, the only
The
thought
weekend, I should say.
only thought I have about the weekend, man, was train wreck for my boys. Welcome to the SEC. I mean, you don't even face the elite, and just trounced. It was embarrassing. So just shows us where they're at, and they got a long way to go.
Their line got exposed. I can't put it all on that quarterback.
No.
Can't put it all on that quarterback. The line was exposed, both offense and defense.
Yeah.
So they went from the best team in the Big 12 to I don't know. I don't know. I'm not counting them out. Let me just get on page to say that right now. I'm not counting them out. And I'm not counting out Iowa State. They had a bad loss. All teams have a bad loss every once in a while. The good thing is it was early in the season.
Yeah.
The bad thing is it's to a team that you're about to go play in conference here in a couple of years.
And it's a team we should have beat. Should have beat them.
Yeah, and it's a team should absolutely. My opening thing is, and we'll get going here, is and I'm going to bring this up in later on in our Q&A star, but let me ask you this. So we'll just get right to it. Let's just get right to it. I'm going to ask this question. Playing cupcake games. Playing cupcake games. OU. West Virginia. Texas Tech. All these teams playing. We'll get to Texas Tech in a second, but what do you think about? I mean, I get it, and I talked about this on Monday, but I get that these little schools get a lot of money from this. I understand that, and if they didn't get these games, some of these schools and some of these programs would not survive.
Yeah,
I get it. I still dislike it. It doesn't give me the fan anything to judge my team off of, other than I'm going to get to see third and fourth string play
whatever the case may be. I mean, like I said, West Virginia played Long
Long
Island.
Island.
I mean, like I said, they go play Juilliard. Go play MIT. If that's the case, these teams show. And I, being again, I'm a Sooner fan, and seeing Oklahoma walk over Western Carolina didn't give me anything because it didn't prove that the defense is ready to take on Nebraska this weekend.
No.
I mean, you can pitch a shutout against anybody. I get that. But this team was a weak, inferior team, and it didn't give you – I mean, yeah, they ran hard, and they played 60 minutes, but it was against an inferior team. I want to see that kind of ball against Nebraska, against Alabama.
Yeah.
Against Florida. So what's your thoughts on cupcake games?
I mean, it's like you said, they're not entertaining because, I mean, they're just not. It's like watching the biggest kid in school, kick a blind kid. It's just, it's not entertaining. It is necessary because I think they do it for two reasons. One, you hit on perfectly. Like these other schools wouldn't survive. And two is these guys, these college football players, they play, all out. Some of these guys, like, they know this is it. Like, I need to get to the pros for this reason or the other. And them kids give it all. And I think these games are scattered in as like breaks. It's bad to call another team a break team, but I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah, I got a lot of heat, I guess, if you will, because here I am going Boomer Sooner, and people are, oh, they're just playing it, and I get it, but the same people saying OU in Texas and whatnot are playing cupcake games, play the Citadel, and play William and Mary.
Yeah,
I'm talking to you, SEC fans, I get it. This is why I'm hoping, and I was talking to somebody else about this. This is why I'm hoping when they congeal these when OU and Texas go over to the SEC, there won't be any need for these smaller school games, and some of them will still play. I get it.
Yeah.
But you won't see Alabama and Citadel and Georgia and Georgia Southern or whatever those other smaller schools there are in Georgia. And I'm with you, and I want these, and we talked about this before. Every division has ballers, and they're going to go out and they're going to make a statement, and they're going to make it into the pros. South Dakota State quarterback, prime example.
Yeah.
Lower division, but he's playing ball at the most upper echelon of football. I understand that. Maybe, yeah, and Finn Lowe, glorified scrimmages for the big boys and money. Absolutely.
Yep.
So why don't we just have, and I was thinking about this, why don't we have scrimmages where they make money then? Why don't we just, I understand you have like the red and blue game and the orange and white game and whatever game you have, but have one preseason game that does that. That way you can schedule bigger teams on. So you get that one school, you got Western Carolina comes in to Oklahoma. The scrimmage doesn't count against your record, but you still pay them to come in and play you for that scrimmage. You give them $1 million or $2 million or whatever they're making. That's just a thought I had.
Is
not that I don't think it works, but it's a thought.
I would say it works if you make sure that the teams, especially the big boys, that they play. You know what I mean? It's not just we're bringing in, Long Island U. Let's I got like 6 water boys and 9 tile dudes. Let's suit them up, put them in there. Make it worth these people's money to travel and come out and see them play and things like that. But that's what the only problem with that would be the relevancy. Like people, what's the relevancy? Like, and people want to see that. They want that David to beat the Goliath. They come out to see if that's going to happen.
And granted, it has happened. Appalachian State against Michigan. It has happened. Montana beating the crap out of Washington a couple of weeks ago. It has happened. I understand that. I was just trying to come up with different ways because, I mean, I still want them to play and I still want these kids to be outshined. And I don't know. I'm trying to come up with an answer for the audience that, you know, what they ask me over these games and over these periods. And I just don't have a good answer for them other than I know you hate it. I hate it, but it has to happen.
Yeah.
It has to happen for those little schools to make some money to, you know, I mean, let's think about it. If once Baylor joined the Big 12 and they started pulling in the money from the Big 12
Yep.
from all those bowl games, look what it did to their program.
Yep.
I have that, and you know, I'm going to play devil's advocate against myself. The smaller schools are going to, you know, make progress off this money that they're getting, and like I said, it helps keep them alive. All right. Only really big news I have for K-State is Skyler Thompson is out. I think that's a good thing for OU and Texas and Oklahoma State and Iowa State. Considering Skyler Thompson's the one that punched us in the mouth last year, and he's the one that gave you all a little bit of a fits there in Texas. So I think that has big significance for K-State, as right now I have them third. I unfortunately had to drop Texas a little bit because of that game, but I got Oklahoma, Iowa State, Kansas State, Texas, then Oklahoma. Because I'm sorry, I'm just not going to rank Oklahoma State higher when the only thing that saved, and I'm going to get off on a tangent. The only thing that saved Oklahoma State was a kickoff return. If they don't have that kickoff return on special teams, Tulsa beats Oklahoma State. What do you think? I mean, anything? I don't get a whole lot of Texas news because obviously my information is northern based.
So there's not. What I'm hoping is Texas makes a quarterback change. I think we should be starting. What is he?
He did.
He came in.
No, he's starting. Sarkisian made the change today.
Ah, nice. I didn't see that. Yeah, he. I mean, the freshman is good. Card's good, but you could tell he was rattled. Like he lost all kinds of composure and poise, and he didn't get hit a lot. You know what I mean? He didn't get hit a lot, but it just seemed like, oh my God, my offensive line, like these guys aren't. I don't have 5-7 seconds to throw the ball. Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
He just didn't throw the ball well. But I mean, like you said, you can't put the whole game on him. It was a train wreck all the way around. So
there was no running game. There was nothing.
There was nothing.
There was nothing.
And it just seemed like it reminded me of watching a Jason Garrett coach team, man, because they just seemed very predictable. Like it was like, why are we doing this again? Like I scream at my TV a lot when the Longhorns and the Cowboys are playing bad. So it was really loud in my house Saturday.
Yeah. We'll get to Dallas here in a few minutes. All right. Gary Patterson's upset the SEC because he's afraid the NIL is going to take all his players. Is he warranted?
No. There are more than enough players going around. So we're talking about players. You were talking about something with the whole getting the little guys, you know, making them more appealing. What about putting a cap on how many guys you can have in reserve? Like we talked about it last week. Alabama has literally got 3 to 4 5-star quarterbacks on their roster. Only 2 of them are going to play. The other 2 dudes are just sitting back waiting, you know. Those players that are on Alabama's roster that are waiting to get their 1 year in the box and done could, 1, benefit from playing time, and 2, make another team more competitive, more entertaining, and bring in more of those guys.
While I'm on the same page with you on this, I agree. How? I mean, you're getting into some arbitration and
Yeah.
Uh, uh, I don't know how you can control it. I mean, you could see. I think that some of this stuff has helped with the portal.
Okay.
Some of the portal has helped that in a way. Some
Yeah.
kids just want to play. Some kids just want to play, and they'll wait their 4 turns. Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
The only reason he finally transferred, I think, is because he wanted a shot at the Heisman, and he knew if he came to Oklahoma, he would have a shot at it.
He wanted
Not that he despised. He didn't leave Alabama in bad terms.
no. He wanted to be sure he was going to start. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. And Finn, Alabama's making college football board. You know, Finn, I was thinking this on the way home today, driving home. I was like, they kind of are, and I was going to ask that, and I got that question coming up. So I'm kind of glad, and Finn, I'll get to that here in a minute. But I think, like we were talking about, some of these kids just want to play, and they don't care how long they sit. They want to be known as Alabama alumni or Oklahoma alumni or Texas alumni. They want that name. They want that recognition. And I think that some of them do that. Some of them, will enter the portal. And I think that's what helps. But Cap, you're just going to have to – you can't tell a kid who wants to go play at Alabama or Texas or Oklahoma or UCLA or wherever. You can't tell them no. I don't know because – but that's something I'll
can. Like, I mean, we have the draft. He's all these guys, the most memorable draft I remember is watching Brady Quinn, who was told by everybody he was going to go in the top 10, just sit in the green room, and out there in the waiting room just forever, and then ended up going to Cleveland. There's 2 teams back then that were, if they drafted you, you're going to die. Like Cleveland quarterbacks, you're going to die. Cincinnati running backs, you were going to die.
You die.
I thought he was a great quarterback. In college, I thought he could play the game very well. But he went to a team that just like literally cleaned house before they drafted him. They didn't give him anything, and
and thought he was going to win.
So I think if you take the same type of you make it kind of like a division draft, SEC draft. Like you gotta, if you want to be playing for Alabama needs to pick you, and then you just cap it.
Yeah. That's something I'll research for next. That's something I will have something more on for you next week. I will do a little bit of digging on that. That's good. That's kind of outside the box stuff that I like to talk about because it puts us different what other people are thinking. But to get to Finn here real quick, on the way home, I was like, God, they were talking about the college championship, and I'm just like, when is the last time any other team? But I mean, you got 4, you've got 4. But when has any other team really been relevant besides Alabama or Clemson? It has gotten stagnant and stale, in my opinion. Got a little bit stagnant, and I get it. It's the 2 best teams, and people from Alabama and people from Clemson are going to tell me, just suck it up. If you got a better team, you can win. I got it. I understand that. I know what football is about. But it does get stagnant for some of the country. It does get stagnant and boring because I don't want to watch Alabama Clemson 47. I don't. And that is why, and I agree with you, Finn, I am glad, and I am really, really glad the playoff expansion is coming. I do, because there you have a better chance of an upset. You have a better chance at a Cinderella coming in and taking over instead of every 4 years. We might have Iowa this year instead of Ohio State. We just might.
Yeah.
And I agree. And I just don't like boring and stagnant. And I feel like sometimes, even my wife, who is not in any means a college football watcher, she goes, "It's Alabama and Clemson again." Even she knows that. Even she knows that. So, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's boring and stagnant? Or do you like that it's Alabama, Clemson
No,
every year?
no, I don't. I don't like it. Uh, College football. So Alabama, don't get me wrong, they deserve it. They Saban runs that ship and he runs it well. If you're gonna do battle with Alabama, you just know that Saban is coming for everything. Your house, your children, the whole nine. He's coming to put it to you. As far as the playoffs and stuff go, I still think the playoff system in college is broken. I mean, everything is money. I don't care what anybody says. There are teams that deserve to be in the playoffs that don't make it to the playoffs. I'm curious to see if that's going to continue with the expansion because, like you said, there should be some less popular teams with good records and good players that get put into that expansion. Into the playoffs based off of that expansion. But I feel like it's going to be another way for them to bring in another team they know is going to make money.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, but
yeah, that's my biggest fear on the expansion with you as well.
If you do it the right way, a one-loss team shouldn't. So a number 10 one-loss team shouldn't get voted in over a number 8, undefeated team based off of their schedule or some. It's all money. They're sitting back and they're just like, who do they want to see? Who do we put in the playoffs so we know everybody's going to watch and we can cash in?
Yeah,
I
agree.
Nobody. If Rice makes the playoff, there's going to be a lot of people like, who the hell is Rice?
Yeah.
But they should, if they have the record, and they have if they have the record, they deserve to go, they should go. So I think there's still some. The expansion is good, but there's definitely some fine tuning that needs to happen with the playoff deal. So because
I agree.
And then even watching the football playoff, the college football playoff selection, we're only all of us are sitting back and we're like, okay, who's going to be the 4th team in? Because we already know what the top 3 teams are going to be. So
I agree. All right, moving on. Did Spencer Rattler help his case for the Heisman with that game, or should we, as fans, voters, whatever the case may be, that shouldn't count?
Look, it doesn't matter who he's playing. He could have gone out there and had a horrible game, So I can't take it away from him.
So he should still be in that
He'll
Heisman
be in the Heisman. I mean, he's still expected to perform. They put.
Yeah, he had five touchdowns. I got that, but again, if he does 5 touchdowns against Nebraska, then I'll start talking.
But if they put him on the field, he has a job to do. He's got to perform. Period. And whether it's against Mini Me or Mighty Mouse, he's got to perform. So,
a good point.
And he went out there and did it. He doesn't make the schedule. He doesn't do any of that stuff. His job is to put points on the board. And if the coach looks at him and says, keep your foot on the gas pedal, he's got to do it, especially
good point.
Heisman.
I think I'm just trying to be hard on my team. And maybe I'm being too hard on my team. But I don't get me wrong. He looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Sharp. He's smart. Hello, Dusty. Good to see you.
Dusty.
He looks sharp.
Yep.
And nothing to take away from him. I guess it just all falls back on the cupcake games. I guess I want to see that, and I'm glad that he did that. But I want to see that against Oklahoma or Oklahoma State, and I want to see that against Alabama or Florida or UCLA or Wisconsin. I want to see that against them. Yeah. And not against.
It's just like we said, there's no fun watching the bully beat up the blind kid. But he unfortunately that's hey, go out there and win this football game. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, and he did it.
So
the kid is. I mean, I'm looking at his stats right now. It's come on now. It's he's.
I'm like a dad being hard on my son who's playing football. Yeah. I think I'm just, You could have done better. And maybe like I said, maybe I'm being overcritical at times, and I probably am.
Well, I got to give it to him
But-
because he didn't play to his competition. You know what I mean? Because that could
Yeah.
hurt him. You know, if he were to come in there with this is a cupcake game mentality, and you know, I don't want to throttle these guys too bad. It could have led him to making mistakes. You know, it could have also led for him to getting pulled out because the coach knows exactly what he's capable of. You know, so yeah.
Lamar Jackson won the. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Thanks for adding that, Finn. Like I said, I'm probably being overcritical, and you guys can just tell me to stop, and I will. But I just want to be, you know, I guess this it all boils down to do that against. And I felt like he played down to, and I'm not taking anything away from Tulane. I'm not at all. I just think he played down a little bit.
Yeah.
Where he could have played up.
Yeah.
And that's what I guess I want to see. We talked about this a little bit on Monday, or I did this on my show. Is Gundy, and you answered it, but I want you to for the people watching, I want them to be able to hear your answer. Is Gundy has he given up? Has he lost his edge? What is his deal?
So, I think Gundy lost a lot of credibility with players last year. You know, when all the little was it last year with the controversy?
Yeah, with the with the OAN and all that.
Yeah, and he really just seems like he's gone Hollywood. Like it's not about. I feel like he has made OSU football about him, and the players are starting.
And not about the kids.
Yeah, you know, it's not about the program. It's about me. I'm Mike Gundy, you know, and I don't think anybody wants to play for him. I just don't feel like those guys want to play football for Mike Gundy.
I agree. Do you say Hollywood? That brings me to my question. Does he take the USC job? He's on. There's been talk. I can't even say he's on a list. I know there's been talk. There's been some, you know, and everybody throws out names. As soon as somebody's fired, the first name we're going to hear is Bob Stoops. I get it. I understand that.
Yeah.
Bob Stoops ain't going to USC. He's not giving up Fox Sports right now.
No, he's making.
Not at all.
So I would say the good thing about going to USC for Gundy would be the expectation at USC is to win. I feel like the expectation for OSU has just gotten to the point where they're relevant in the Big 12, and they've just kind of decided, you know, OU is gonna run this division. We're gonna sit back and be the little Oklahoma University, and they can be the big show and move on. If he goes to USC, that is one of the top tier, you know, football schools in the country. Like that is a career maker or life ruiner. You know what I mean? Like if he doesn't do well there, he's gonna find himself where Sarkisian was last year on the sideline coaching for Nick Saban. You know, like so where the coaches, you know, that were successful and failed some way and go back to learn. You know what I mean? That's just he does go. He needs to ditch the staff he's got now because they're not here the right way. He needs to bring in a whole new staff if he has control over that. And two, he needs to remember coaching is about the people you coach. It's about the people you lead. It's not about being followed. So.
Agreed. All right. Well, you ready to talk about this upcoming week's football games?
Yeah.
We'll get to our record, and I might be winning. We'll get to that here in a minute. But let's get to this week's coverage of Big 12 games. I wish I could say this part of our show is brought to you by, but I don't have that, and so we're gonna just say, all right, this part of the show is where Vern and I will be covering the upcoming games for the Big 12 this weekend. Feel free to throw your picks in there as well. We're going to give our points, our scores, or whatever we think that the outcome will be. So first up, we talked about West Virginia and their cupcake game, but Virginia Tech's coming in. So we got Virginia Tech at West Virginia. I got Virginia Tech 35. because they really put it on North Carolina. Virginia Tech 35, West Virginia 28.
I can't disagree with you. West Virginia, I mean, we talked about them. They are looking for themselves.
Yep.
I think they're going to be one of the teams, though, that benefits when Oklahoma and Texas leave the Big 12. But yeah, right now they're just kind of treading water. So you said 35 Virginia Tech?
35 Virginia Tech, West Virginia 28.
Yeah, I wouldn't give West Virginia 28 points, but
I'm being nice. Again, I'm being nice to my relatives. I'm being nice to my relatives in West Virginia. I got a thumbs down from Finn on, I guess, the Virginia Tech West Virginia game. All right, we got Nebraska. The old Big Red rivalry coming in. Nebraska versus Oklahoma. I got Nebraska 31, Oklahoma 41. I'm only giving them 10 points. They haven't proven to me that they can go out and play six. Other than Western Carolina, they haven't proven they can go out for 60 minutes, keep the pedal or the foot on the pedal and give it gas for 60 minutes. They haven't proven that to me. So right now I got it 41-31 Oklahoma.
I think Oklahoma's going to win, but I think the score is going to be lower and closer. I think Nebraska is going to surprise them, and that defense is going to stand up a little bit. I would give Oklahoma 35, and Nebraska, I'd give them 28.
Okay. Let me ask you this question I asked on Monday, and since we're on Oklahoma, Nebraska. If for some reason Oklahoma just blows them out, blows out Nebraska, you know, they go in, hang a half 100, and Nebraska scores 10. Does Nebraska fire Scott Frost?
I don't think they fire him for losing to OU. I mean, right now, they're number 3. You got we talked about Spencer being a Heisman prospect. I mean, they've got NFL talent, all over the place. I don't think you fire him for losing to the number 3 team in the country. So no, I don't think he's gone.
Okay. He's definitely on the hot seat no matter what. I think if he does not have a winning year, period, I think at the end of the year he's gone. I mean, I didn't think Clay Helton was going to be gone after losing to Stanford like that. But here we are, and so you never know. All right. We got Nevada at Kansas State. I don't know much about Nevada. I know they can play. I know they're pretty good. I mean, I know they're good, and this is going to be the first test for Kansas State where it's actually almost like playing Big 12 ball. Nevada plays Big 12 style football. So I've got Kansas State 35, Nevada 21.
So I've got Kansas State 21 and Nevada 17.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I
just don't know a whole lot about Nevada lately. To give them that's why, guys, like I said, I'm just a guy who sits in a room with a bunch of pops and tries to pretend like he knows football. So sometimes my picks are way off. You can agree or disagree with me. But Nevada, I just don't know a lot about them. All right, so I'll let you go the next. We got Baylor at Kansas. First Big 12 matchup of the season, Baylor, Kansas. What do you got?
I think this one is going to be good.
Yeah.
I picked Kansas to beat Baylor by 3. So I got 21-18 Kansas.
You, my friend, are very generous. After what I witnessed last week against Coastal Carolina, and I don't know. I right now, and this may change. This right now, I got 38-10 Baylor. Just after watching what Baylor did and watching what Kansas did, Kansas has got no D. Kansas has got no D, and I don't know if they can hold an opponent to less than 30 points. I don't know if they can do that. So and it may change, but that's a good pick, and I like that pick. I like that pick for you. I do, and I thought about it long and hard. Don't get me wrong, it was, but 38-10 is my pick right now. If I change it, I'll let you know before the game.
Okay.
Next up, Florida International going into Texas Tech. What do you got?
I got I know I'm probably gonna.
After what I witnessed in the first half of the Stephen F. Austin Texas Tech game, where Stephen F. Austin was up on Texas Tech, and it took some second half heroics.
Yeah. I got FIU. I'm not gonna say hurting them, but I got FIU 28-14.
Wow. I'm close. I got FIU 24, Texas Tech 21.
Okay.
I am still not sold on. I'm just not sold on Texas Tech yet. I like them. I'm just not sold on their. You should have blown Stephen F. Austin in the second quarter. They should have been gone.
Yeah.
There should have been second and third stringers playing before halftime.
Yep.
In my opinion. It's just my opinion. So, all right, buddy. Next up, Rice coming in to Texas.
I got my Longhorns bouncing back, man. I got Texas up 35-10 on Rice.
I'm even being nicer. Oh, you gods, do not come down on me too hard. I too feel they'll rebound in a big way. I got Texas 42, Rice 10.
Okay.
I feel the rebound is due. That wasn't Texas football. To me, that wasn't Texas football. I think it was. I'm not going to call it a fluke because I'm not holding nothing back against Arkansas or SEC teams. I'm not.
No.
I just don't think that was Texas football we saw, and so I think they have a big rebound, and I think they put it to them.
Yeah. They're at home. Yeah, they better rebound. So
yeah.
I don't.
It's just not. That wasn't Texas football. That's what I'll leave it at. It wasn't Texas football. All right, we got Oklahoma State going up to Boise.
I got Boise beating Oklahoma State 28-14.
We're our point spread is the same, except Oklahoma State put your pistols firing away. Put your pistols firing away, Okie State fans, because I got Boise State 35, Oklahoma State 21. Boise State played UCF, a future Big 12 team. And we'll get more into those teams coming in next week. But they just totally dismantled UTEP, which I think we both pretty much said that they were going to do. Boise, we picked Boise, and I think we said they were just going to destroy UTEP. So, yeah, you're going to get drugged by wild horses up there, Okie State fans. You're not. This is not going to be a pretty picture. I'm going off of, and it'll be in my final thoughts today. But if you don't have a kickoff return against Tulsa, you lose to Tulsa.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. You lose to Tulsa. Not that I'm taking anything away from Tulsa at all. They're a good team. They're a really good team, and I'm not taking anything away from them. But you don't have a run game, and you've lost your killing edge. You've lost your spark, Oklahoma State. I don't know. I know there's hurt. I know people's hurt. I know there's individuals hurt. I got that. But you're Oklahoma State. You recruit.
Yeah.
You have put horrendous amount of points on the board the last few years. And you're telling me you can barely put up 30 points against Tulsa?
And they get
Come on.
players. They get players.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to rant on that more here in a little bit in my final thoughts. All right, last up, Iowa State at UNLV.
I'm gonna take Iowa State over UNLV, but I'm not gonna give them a ton. I think it's gonna be a close game. I got Iowa State at 28, and I got UNLV at 21.
I got 35-28. Brock Purdy, for a guy who was supposed to have been on the Heisman watch list for the last 2 years, he's done nothing. And I mean, he's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. Excellent quarterback. He fumbles at the worst times, and he throws interceptions at the worst times. And now I'm not taking it again. I pulled Iowa from day one that I started covering college football on this show. I've called Iowa as my dark horse. They're an excellent football team, and I called Iowa upsetting them anyway, or Iowa beating Iowa State. I don't know if that's an upset or not. But Iowa State fans, you have nothing to worry about. You're still going to be in the running for the Big 12. Don't let, and same way with Texas, don't let anybody think that one loss, you proved them wrong last year.
Yeah.
You proved everybody wrong last year. So don't let that one loss get to you. It's an early loss. It's a non-conference opponent for both of you. It's okay. You're still in the hunt. Don't give up. Like I said, that wasn't Texas football.
No.
And that was not what I expected out of Brock Purdy. So that's going to be some good games right there. It's an awesome matchup for a few good teams, and some awesome and not so awesome for some other ones. So, good picks, buddy.
Likewise.
Let's get to the ones that count now, though. I have. Now I can't even find my daggone picks. All right, so my NFL, I was 3-1, and I believe you were also 4-1, and I believe you were 4-1 as well on your NFL picks. But where you got hurt, I went 4-1 on my college, and this is where you got hurt.
Oh my gosh.
You lost. You're 3-2 on your college week.
Yep.
You lost to Washington and Michigan, and you lost Rutgers and Syracuse.
Yep.
So, with that being said, I'm in the lead by 1 game, and I'll take it. I'll take a one game lead. I want that trophy to come to OU town. No, it was a great week for both of us. It really was. I think we were pretty spot on. I don't know what you were right to pick Washington, but I don't know what happened to them. They lost. I don't know what happened to Washington.
No.
Because I picked them like third in the pack when I did my pack. My Pac-12 picks, I picked him third.
Yeah, that was
because I really thought, wow, I don't know who that team is. So I'm going to cry for you, but I'm not going to cry too hard because I want that trophy here in my possession. All right, so we got 5 games this week from college and the NFL. We'll hit our college games first. I'm making it. These are going to be some tough games. I want us to really feel the heat of these games and really put some. So, first game up.
okay.
For college, this is the first game. Alabama and Florida.
Okay.
You give me your scores.
Scores for Alabama at Florida.
Yep.
Wow. I'm going to give Alabama 49.
Okay.
And Florida, I'm going to give Florida 17.
Wow. Even after the way Alabama played, I think Saban was right when he said he wanted to take them all to the shed and whoop the crap out of them.
Yeah.
They did not look good against a mediocre opponent.
That's
I will say
why
that.
I think
They won.
because
Yeah, they'll probably. I have it a little bit closer, so I have it a 2-point game, my friend.
What?
I have it a 2-point game. Alabama, 38. Florida, 36.
Okay.
I think Alabama this season has, and because I watched the press conference with Nick Saban, and he's like, my kids just phoned it in this week, and I don't think they're going to get over that. I think they may have overlooked. I get it. Teams overlook teams year after year. I got it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they just want to play. I don't know. That's what I'm seeing right now. So like I said, I got Alabama 38, Florida 36.
Okay.
All right.
Um.
The next up, Auburn at Penn State.
Auburn at Penn State.
Yep.
I got to pick Penn.
Okay.
I got to pick Penn, and I'm going to give them the win, and I'm going to give them man, because they didn't play Wisconsin well at all.
No, this was between Florida and Alabama and Penn State and Auburn. These were the two toughest games that I sat down and just went.
They didn't play Penn State. They didn't play Penn State well, but I kind of I don't. Auburn is not Wisconsin. They don't have Wisconsin's defense. Auburn always plays hard though, but I'm going to go with Penn State. I don't think they're going to score a lot of points though. I'm going to give them a 4-point win at 21-17.
Nice. All right, we're pretty close. I still have but I pulled Auburn with a last-second field goal to win. Auburn 27.
What?
Penn State 25.
What?
Auburn 27. Penn State 25. Penn State looked really good last week, and I'll give it to them. But I don't know if they can handle the I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sold on Penn State. That's why I asked the question on Monday. Is Penn State for real? This game will determine for both of these teams. This game will determine for both if they're for real, if they're contenders, or they're just pretending because of the non-conference schedule.
Yeah.
This will determine it. All right, good. That's a good pick. We've got Florida State at Wake Forest.
Wow.
Like I said at the beginning of the season, I would have picked Florida State to walk away with this game. But after witnessing what they did against Jackson State, that's another team you should have, by all rights and purposes, should have taken to the scrub house and just left them there to dry.
Yeah, I agree. Who is Florida State? So.
Yeah, who is Florida State? Because that's not the same team I watched almost put Notre Dame in the ground.
Yeah.
I got Florida State 34, Wake Forest 27. I think they rebound. They find themselves, at least in this game, and they take it to them.
I don't know. I'm going to stick with you got Florida State what?
Florida State 34, Wake Forest 27. I like all these guys. Florida State is always good for missing a field goal. I want y'all to know that. Florida State is always good for missing a field goal.
I'm going to give Wake Forest the win 24-21.
All right. I like that. 24-21?
Yeah.
All right. I like that. I like that a lot. And I thought about it. Again, that was another game where I was like, but I got a feeling they're gonna be hungry. They're gonna do a Texas, be hungry, and go out there and stomp a mud hole in somebody. I got that feeling. I could be wrong. I'm wrong on a lot of things, people. Remind that. All right. Notre Dame versus Purdue. I'll let you pick first.
Notre Dame. Notre Dame's going to win that one. And I think they're going to win it pretty convincingly. I'm going to pick them at 35-14.
What is it?
35-14.
35-14?
Yeah.
Okay. Finn says he's loving your picks. Do you know Finn?
Nope. Don't know who he is.
Thanks, Finn. Thanks for the love. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. No, thanks you for watching, really. Appreciate you. I have Notre Dame as well running away with it. I got them 38-14. So we were close. I mean, we were really close. I have Notre Dame 38, Purdue 14. Purdue's good for an upset every once in a while, but I just don't think this game's going to be it.
No.
So, and I think, again, Notre Dame was close to losing to Toledo. And I think, again, another team that wants to be – Notre Dame has to win everything this year to even – one loss for them, I think, this year. One loss for them, and they don't get considered for the Final Four. So if Notre Dame wants to make that Final Four, they got to win every game this year.
Yeah, and they got to win convincingly because, I mean, again, they're independent and the money. You know what I mean? That's like, it all goes back to money. It's unfortunate that Notre Dame could be a one-loss team and not even be considered for the college football playoffs. So.
Yep. All right, good picks. Our last one, and I want to make this because I just want to see what you decide on this. Tulane at Mississippi. This is where we find out if Tulane is a for real team, and they just brought it to Oklahoma because they could have won that game against Oklahoma. Don't get me wrong.
They should have.
We talked about it before.
They should have won.
So Tulane against Mississippi. What do you got?
I'm going to go with Tulane. I'm going with Tulane. So I'm going to give it to – it's not going to be I don't think it's going to be a tremendous blowout or anything, but I think Tulane's going to pull it out with a field goal and win 24-21.
Woo! 24-21. We're close. I also have Tulane winning. I have them winning 34-28. I have them winning 34-28. I think Tulane's for real. I think what we saw against Oklahoma was a real deal. I don't think they're a pushover team. I don't think they're somebody that just gets run over. Tulane 34, Mississippi 28. All right, that's our picks for college. If you guys have anything different, please put them in the comments. Let us know if you know. Obviously, Finn loves your picks and not mine, so we'll live with that. That's all right. No, I kid. It's good to have this interaction. So I appreciate it, Finn, coming in and watching. All right. First of all, I want to say some things about my Cowboys. Put the ball in the end zone, in the red zone. Don't kick the field goal. Cowboys, if you put the ball in the end zone on those 2 turnovers, you sent the Tampa Bay Bucks crying. Dak, you looked wonderful. And I said this the other night in my NFL show. Never in the history that I have ever been alive did I ever think a Dallas quarterback would throw 58 passes. Never in my life did I think a Dallas quarterback would throw 58 passes. He did it with a bum shoulder.
And he was accurate.
And he still looked good.
And he was accurate.
Yeah, and he was good. He looked good. Dak, welcome back. You look good, buddy.
Yep.
I'm excited for this weekend against the Chargers, for sure. Excited for the Chargers game. Who do you got tonight? This doesn't count, but who do you got tonight? The team with no name or the train wreck?
I mean, both of them could be called the train wreck. I mean, after Fitzmagic went out with a hip injury, like what? When you can't be a seasoned vet and go out with a hip injury, man, because that's jokes and retirement.
Yeah, that's like a pool player pulling his finger right before he's getting ready to take the shot.
Yeah. So, man, I hate to pick either one of these guys, but I'm gonna have to go with New York. Washington, they don't have an answer at quarterback.
Agreed. Excuse me.
So.
Agreed. I'm going with the Giants only because I think, and this is a wishful thinking, and I want every Dallas fan and every fan that's a Giants fan or whoever, Jason Garrett is going to lose his mind for one night, actually decide to let Saquon Barkley run the ball. You have a workhorse. You have a guy who can put yards on the ground. Let him do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why Garrett is still a coach, period. But whatever. I'm with you. I'm taking the Giants. I think Saquon has a good night. I know Washington's defense is a little stingy. But I don't think, like you said, I don't think they have the offense to do anything tonight. Is it Heineke? Is Heineke the quarterback? Is that who it is?
Is it Heineke or Hinkie or
Heineke? I don't know.
He is also the quarterback. Right. No name to go with the football team.
Yeah.
No name.
Yeah. All right. So our first game for the weekend.
Oh, we're gonna pick a score on those?
Yeah, we're picking a score. Well, we can go heads up. You want to just go straight heads up?
Yeah.
Or do you want to pick scores?
Let's go heads up.
Let's mix it up. We'll go. This team wins. This team doesn't win. Let's just do it this way.
All right. So we both got New York.
Yeah, we'll take. All right. No, if you want that to count, we'll count it. All right. So we both took New York. Straight up. All right. We don't have to do points on this. That's fine. Let's go. Let's go Cowboys Chargers. I know I'll take the opposite. Just to make it fair.
You don't have to pick the opposite because I'm sure we'll come to a point where we disagree. But
I want you to take the Chargers is what
I can't. I don't think I'm a Cowboys fan, but that doesn't. The
Chargers look good though. The Chargers look really good.
They did.
Bear is a.
We have a hole at cornerback. Brown. Yep. I mean, I told my son. He asked me if I was watching the game last week, and I said Antonio Brown beat our cornerback with the shoulder dip, and I said he was lost. We have a problem at corner, and what is the Chargers quarterback is Henne, right?
No, it's the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's Bear or Herbert or however you say it.
Herbert, my bad.
Yeah.
He's good. That guy's good. And he's dangerous. But I don't think his offensive line is going to stop our front. We do have Lawrence's broken foot, but I think we got enough to come in there and put it on him. And we have the best receiving core in football. That's not
even with Gallup out, we still have the best receiving core in football.
It's crazy. I mean, Cooper is amazing. That dude runs the tightest routes in the league right now. We got to get CeeDee not to be scared to take a hit. I mean, because the kid is phenomenal. But I don't think they're going to stop Dallas.
All right, you got Dallas. I will take Dallas as well. I cannot pick against my team. All right, so right now. All right, let's go. Mm-hmm. 49ers Eagles.
Okay. That's wow. Now this is gonna be a good game. Hopefully Angel's not on here because he's gonna be mad at me. I'm gonna take Philly over San Francisco.
All right. I am actually taking San Francisco. I think they're stingy on D. I think they're really good. And if they can ever decide their quarterback controversy, I'm not a big fan of a dual quarterback system. I'm just not. And they did that. San Francisco did that the other day. I'm not a big fan of it. But I still think the Niners have it for the Eagles. So I'm taking the Niners.
Do you think that they are doing the dual quarterback system because of lack of faith in Jimmy G, or they're still trying to find the quarterback that fits the system they're trying to figure out to run?
Yeah, that it's they're trying to figure out the quarterback they want to run the offense that they want to run. Don't get me wrong, Jimmy G is okay. He's not Tom Brady. He's not Peyton Manning, but he's not a horrible quarterback.
Yeah, he's not Ryan Leaf, like.
Yeah, and he's not Derek. And I don't care, Derek Carr. The sun shines once in a while. You know what the finish of that sentence is?
Yeah.
Carr, the sun shines every once in a while. You got your sunshine on Monday night. You got your sunshine on Monday night. Don't count on that Derek Carr again. But yeah, I think he's good, and I think he's good enough. And I don't want to go against my Oklahoma guy and Alabama guy, but Jalen, I don't know. I don't know if they did really good and surprising. They surprised me last week, but I don't know if they've got the same thing again this week.
Yeah, I think
that RPO can only fool so many people before they catch on and they do it. But Jalen Hurts operated that offense almost 100% efficient.
Yep.
Just a few little snags here and there, but it looked good. All right, so we got the Browns at the Texans. We got a Texans team that shocked the entire world. Not one person walked into that game last week and picked the Texans to win that. Nobody in Vegas, maybe Bill, who's a good friend of Texans football, probably picked them. But nobody in this country picked Tyrod Taylor and the Texans to win that game.
Yep.
Not one. And that dude looked like he was Hall of Fame quarterback Tyrod Taylor. But we got the Browns and the Texans. The Browns need to rebound. What's your think?
And I think they'll do just that. I don't think they need to rebound as much as refocus the defense because, and I feel like they tried to get too cute offensively instead of just like we always talk about keeping your foot on the gas pedal and going straight. They just got cute, and you can't do that against Mahomes. He's not the defending champ, but that dude is the quarterback in the league right now. And if you give him any window, he's gonna make you pay for it. And it was a good reminder to them because I do think if the Browns would have won that game, it would have been problematic for them because they already run with such a high energy and high hype about themselves. Had they won that game, I think that would have grown exponentially and caused them some problems down the road.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But
awesome.
I got them beating Houston.
Yeah, I agree. Browns got it, and like I said on my NFL show the other night, that was not Baker's fault. He did everything he possibly could.
Yep.
And Murphy showed up at the wrong, like Murphy shows up, and he did everything he could not to throw that. And again, like you said, the defense let up. They need to refocus because they were doing great, and then all of a sudden they messed around, let him back in.
Yep.
Chubb had a fumble, so it was a culmination of everything. Not just Baker, not just the defense, not just Chubb. It was a team effort to lose, and it was a team effort. But I will give it to Baker a little bit. He did everything he could on that last play, or to get rid of that ball, and it just got intercepted.
Yeah.
But I digress. All right, last game we're going to do Monday Night Football. We got the Lions at the Packers.
Ooh.
And if you would have told me that Matthew Stafford and Los Angeles would have a higher quarterback rating than Aaron Rodgers at the beginning of the season, I would have called you a fool, painted you yellow with a stripe on your back, and said you're a coward.
If you look at Rodgers almost seemed like he's saving himself for his next team. He did not.
Rodgers is saving himself for Jeopardy. That's his next gig. If he doesn't, I get it. I get that you're upset with and you want to move on. I get it. I'm not saying he threw that game.
Nope.
I'm not saying that he backed off, but he didn't look interested. Like you said, he did not look interested in that game. And if he's not careful, his next gig is Jeopardy. He ain't playing football again if he plays like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like a little bit of it was the fact that New Orleans just scored at will. I mean, They just scored at will. And after they're down so far, I mean, he has to think about, like, we're not going to win this game. Do I really want to take a chance of getting injured? Because let's be honest, this year is the audition year for the next team. This year is the audition year for Denver, unless Teddy Bridgewater like completely goes in there and blows them away. Aaron Rodgers will be playing football for the Denver Broncos.
Teddy Bridgewater did look good.
Yeah, he did.
He did look good for Denver.
So I think Jared Goff did well in Detroit. I mean, historically, since Megatron, Detroit hasn't really had anybody to throw the football to. They pick up number 2 and number 3 receivers here and there, but they haven't had a true number 1 receiver or tight end yet. And I think he looked good. I think him versus Green Bay's defense, I'm going to give this game to Detroit. Green Bay's defense didn't seem like they could cover a bed with a blanket, man. Like, we're talking about Jameis Winston. All right. Jameis,
I know.
He was.
I'm surprised it wasn't 5 and 5, 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. I really am. But like I said, he looked good. Jameis looked good. Like I was talking with Eric the other night, I don't know if he's the second coming and ready to save NFL or the Saints or not, but he looked good.
Yeah.
I am actually going to take the Packers. I think they have a rebound. I think he, like you said, he wants to audition himself. If this is the time to do it against this team. Not taking anything against the Lions played really good against the Niners.
Yeah,
they really did. And so I'm not taking anything away. And I agree. Goff looked really good. He looked, give him a few more, and I think he'll be really good in there. So I'm taking the Packers, though. I think they have a rebound. I think they go in and like you said, he auditions for Denver, and that's where we leave it. Well, all right, we got some great picks. Does anybody agree with my picks instead of Burns? Let me know about it in the comments. I'm kidding. I kid. Great picks. It's gonna be a great weekend in football. What's your final thoughts, my friend?
It was really good to have football back. We had football last year, but it's not the same with the cardboard cutouts and stuff like that. I do still understand that there's a pandemic, and I am still sensitive to that and cautious of that. But football was completely different last weekend, and it was great. It was great. I hope my record this week improves. On my pick, and I can at least even that up. But I'm looking forward to a couple of these games. I'm looking forward to tonight's game. I mean, I think this will be out of the games that we've picked, this will be the tightest game. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, my final thoughts are OU, 60 minutes of football. Dallas. Put it in the end zone instead of when you're in the red zone, put 6, not 3.
Yep. Yeah. Zerline.
Oklahoma. Yeah.
Straight.
Oklahoma State. Yeah. Oklahoma State, listen to this. Get a running game. Oklahoma State, if you want to be significant in the Big 12, get a running game.
Yeah.
Because it's lackluster right now.
Yep.
That is what kept you winning those and putting a lot of points on the board. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Spencer Sanders is a subpar quarterback. He turns the ball over way too. Like we talked about in Texas, maybe it's time for a quarterback change in Oklahoma State.
Yeah, he doesn't have that fire in the ball. It hangs up there too long.
Yeah. So I'm with you, buddy. I am so glad football is back. Back. It was fun to see the field on Thursday night when Dallas was playing Tampa Bay. It was fun to see. It was fun to see and hear the cheering, real cheering, and not pumped in crowd noise. I'm with you. I'm sensitive to the fact that there's a pandemic going. I got it. I understand that. But I'm glad football's back.
Yep.
All right, let's do it again next Thursday. Same time, same Red River channel. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out. I'm your host, Dash. This is your host, Vern. We love talking to you guys. If you have any questions, hit one of us up. If you have anything that you want us to talk about in the show, you can message us, let us know. We'll bring it in. Yeah. But not bad for a second show. Good to see you, buddy. And we'll do it again next week.
All right, guys. Later.
Good night, guys.